Oh, accent.
Hi Scott, we're in the cafe this morning and we're sat with Pinocchio, a dog, Beaker, tea monkey and a Kit Kat, and we're going to talk about widgets.
Right,
That's okay?
let's go.
And what I'd like to talk about with the Wookiee widget server is the way that a whole variety of tools can just be brought to hand for teachers and learners. So if I want to reach for Pinocchio, I can just grab him, you see. And having grabbed him, I can give him to you. And this is something that actually is quite difficult to do with the web, because things are sort of hidden behind URLs and passwords and all sorts of paraphernalia, which actually make it quite difficult for people just to reach for tools, bring them into their environment, hand them over to other people, share them, and of course we can put a number of tools together. So I've got Beaker here and Pinocchio, and it may be that we want to do a little role play. Maybe that Beaker and Pinocchio have a fight, something like that. So, see. But the fact is that I can again just reach for Beaker, I can reach for Pinocchio, and I can pass them over to you and we can share it. And if this is our environment, this might be our virtual learning environment, just by putting these tools in this place, we can share it and engage in some sort of activity with Beaker and Pinocchio. I wonder, Scott, if you could just talk us through, and this is a bit of a sort of strange example in a way, but just talk us through how this sort of thing translates into Wookiee. I might have set you up here.
Okay, I'll try and think about that. Yeah, I mean, what Wookiee does is it's a way of adding widgets to websites. And the important thing is about the widgets. And widgets are packages, little envelopes into which you stuff bits of the web. So here's my Beaker widget. So I've wrapped him up.
I'm feeling quite sorry for Beaker at this moment.
Sorry, Beaker. And if I've wrapped him up in a widget, I can do a lot of things with this widget now. So I can install it on an Android phone, using something called the Opera runtime Android. I can install him in Wookiee, which means I get to put him into things like Moodle or WordPress or other applications like that. Or I can put him on a BlackBerry or any other device that supports widgets. So rather than being a bit of HTML on my website, this is now something I can move around and install in all kinds of places. So I pass it over to this device here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now you see, I can see by the fact that this is in an envelope that this is something that I can do something with. So all I have to do is unwrap the envelope, because I have instructions just for unwrapping envelopes and putting whatever the contents of that envelope is into my environment. So whatever type of device I am, I can do that. It's very simple. So here's Beaker now, but all I really need to know is about the envelope.
So what the W3C widget specification does is it tells you how to make an envelope and what to write on it. So title, description, all that sort of information. You even get to put a nice icon, so you can show these things quite nicely with various kind of choosers and things like that. So you could have a little portrait of Beaker that possibly poke through here. So we go, aha, that's what Beaker is in here. Yeah, it's just a little icon. And that's kind of what Wookiee does, is provides a way for websites to do the same kind of, what's this? And unpack that and make that available.
And I think one of the most interesting things that's happened with sort of app stores generally is the way that a whole sort of variety of technology, some of it really actually quite old technology. So I've got old ZX Spectrum games on my mobile phone and all sorts of things. And because once we've got this packaging idea, you can bring all of that stuff to hand. So again, rather than it being distributed and spread across all sorts of websites and runs, you just put it in one place, stick it in an envelope, and all you've got to worry about is the rules for unwrapping the envelope and sticking the contents into the environment.
It's worth that issue of old content to hand is quite an important one, because for a long time we've had the ability to find like Spectrum emulators on the web, for example.
BBC Micro,
all kinds of old stuff. And it's only when you start putting that into an app and putting it through an app store, that suddenly people go, wow, I can play Galaxians on my iPhone.
Yeah.
Until that point, you wouldn't bother with the whole finding it and, you know, sort of redoing it and trying somehow to get it onto your device. And so there's, in education, we've got a lot of old stuff out there. There's actually really good stuff. Like a lot of people who used to write Java applets that did quite cool things that are now kind of very hard to find. But we can wrap those up now, make them into apps, give them cool icons, make them available on phones, make them available onto websites again, and that gives us a whole load of really cool content.
Okay, so I think, just looking at T-Monkey and Pinocchio, I think we've pretty much sorted it. So there you go. It's about packaging stuff up and putting it into lots of different environments and bringing it to hand.